So let's just address the elephant in the room because it is what it is. I spent a shit ton of money on food, okay? Hey guys, so I decided I wanted to sit down and film my April no spend recap video today. Okay, I'm in like the weirdest mood this morning. I have so much energy. I am super like just crazy this morning, but I just really wanted to film for you guys. I think that I haven't sat down like this and had a little one-on-one in a while. So here you go. I can't tell if this is in focus or not. I am like really struggling here. I feel like I'm out of focus. Okay, we're just gonna go with this because I can't. April was a good month. I actually plan on changing up a little bit of how I do my videos in the future. I want to still continue to do my monthly recaps. However, I'm really tired of posting these videos 2 or 3 weeks after the start of the month. And so they don't seem as relevant. It just like after a certain amount of time passes, I feel like, I'll just get around to it when I get around to it. And I hate that. So I really want to be more proactive. I really plan on starting to post closer to the first of the month. I also am planning on doing some videos on other topics besides just my no spend. Personally, the no spend challenge is very important to me and it is something that I'm working really hard towards. So I like to make content about it. It's interesting to me and I don't know, I think it's interesting to document my successes and failures, but I do have other interests and stuff that I do want to show on my channel. So I'll be planning on posting some different videos. I did an Under My Sink organization. If you haven't seen that, I'll link that video here. I want to do things that bring you guys value, things that you find interesting. And if there are any ideas that you have, please put those in the comments below because I want to know what you guys want to see because it may be content I want to make. So let me know and I will produce it for you. One of the things I did really well this month was my credit card. April was a great month financially for me. I know that most people are furloughed right now, and as sad as it makes me for the essential employees that are not receiving like unemployment benefits and things like that, I'm not one of those essential employees. My job was shut down and will not reopen until almost the end of June. So I'm out of work for quite a bit of time and I have been for already about 2 months. So I'm one of the people that is receiving the extra $600 a week for unemployment and it has been amazing. It's been something that I'm using to put towards my debts. And next month I plan on putting a lot more towards my debts, but I'm also planning on funneling into my savings account, which is something I haven't done in the last 2 months. So I am really loving this extra money. I am putting it to good use and it has found a great home in paying off the balances of my credit cards. So for all you essential workers out there, essential employees and frontline workers, I appreciate you so much and I am so sorry that this is the way that the imbalance of our whatever system it is that's in charge of these decisions is. It is imbalanced, it doesn't quite make sense, and I know that you guys are getting perks and benefits, but I would rather have $600 extra a week than a free pair of Crocs or free food somewhere. That's not equivalent. There are people that are thriving off of this, and I'm blessed to say that I am one of those people. I am able to put that money towards things that I need to put it towards. I'm able to put it towards debts. I'm able to just put it towards even my anxiety. Like if you've watched any of my past few videos, like my anxiety levels on finances were through the roof. It was getting really bad. It wasn't the pressure of a no spend because I was doing well enough. It was that I just never felt like I was making enough money. And so now that school's over, now that we're getting this unemployment bonus, I've been doing well and mentally my anxiety has completely subsided. So that's great. But yeah, so overall credit cards for the month was fantastic. I will obviously show you guys what my credit cards look like, but I ended up paying down, I think it was 36% of my balance. So quite a bit. It was a very good chunk of money that I put towards my credit card tracker. Okay, so let's just address the elephant in the room because it is what it is. I spent a shit ton of money on food, okay? That's what happened. It is what it is. It's quarantine. I don't know what to tell you. Like, your girl likes to eat food, okay? So I spent a lot of money on food this month. I spent money going to Chick-fil-a, to going out to eat, to ordering takeout from restaurants because I wanted that restaurant food. No bueno, not good. I spent a lot of money on groceries, food, just in general. Like, if you look at my list, you'll see it's just like KFC, Zaxby's, Chick-fil-a, like it's places that are like, it's just food, or it's groceries, or it's the ABC store, which is alcohol essentially. So you could just tell I was like hungry while I was at home a lot. But the good thing is that I wasn't spending money on frivolous items or unnecessary things. I wasn't buying crap. I wasn't going to Target and shopping because I was bored. I'm not gonna lie, I went to Target a couple times, but it was like for very specific things like cat litter, or I don't know, like a light bulb, like random things I needed, like just really, really random things. But I wasn't just buying frivolous stuff, and that made me really happy. So if spending money on food is the worst thing I spent my money on, I'm kind of okay with it. But I definitely need to lower my grocery and eating out expenses. It's getting out of control. Like, it's so much of my budget is food. It's insane. A, I don't need to be eating that much food. B, it's expensive. And C, I'm breaking my no spend rules. So it's just absolutely silly and just needs to be more under control. So that is goal number one for sure going into May and also into June, is really just like really cutting back on how much money I'm spending on food. A couple other things. I refinanced the car. So that was really good. We went from having a 5-year loan that was like 6 months paid off, to having a 3-year loan that will cost about, I don't know, 30 or 40 extra dollars a month. However, what we originally would have been paying in interest, I want to say it was like $4,000. It was a lot. And what we will be paying now is $600. So we went from paying almost $4,000 total on top of the car for interest to paying just a little over $600 additional. So that was really good. That was like financially a great decision. Our interest rate was 15% and now I think it's like 4.3. So big difference. If you can, go refinance your car, because right now especially interest rates are stupid low and you'll be in a really good position if you can do something like that. Overall, like I said, I want to start creating content that is different than just my no spend, which means I need to dedicate a lot more time to YouTube. And one of the things I think that will help me is by just trying to document as much as I possibly can. So I'm picking up the camera and I am just recording. I don't know how great the footage will look. I don't know how good I'm gonna look. And I really, quite frankly, don't care, because the goal of the channel is to document my journey and where I'm at in my life and the steps that I'm taking to get somewhere different. And so for instance, with that, you know, building a credit score so I can do something like buying a house or flipping a house or renovating a house and then renting it, or having maybe starting a family one day, or traveling, which is, that is the goal. Like, I have to travel more often. I'm just like getting sick and tired of not going somewhere, and this whole coronavirus shutdown, no travel thing has really put a damper on like my plans for what this channel was even supposed to be about. It was a huge like part of my channel was about travel, and I haven't really been able to do much. So now that everything's kind of opened back up, we are going to be planning some short little trips and like day trip type things, so that will be fun, and I really can't wait to share our adventures with that. But overall, the journey that I'm on is so much bigger than just this financial journey, and I want to continue to share as much of it with you guys as I possibly can. All right, so let's get into my spending for the month. I sat down and wrote all of my purchases, and as you can see, it is a lot of purchases of food. You can see that there's Chick-fil-a, there's Zaxby's, there's KFC, there's more Chick-fil-a. I even spent $18 on dessert. for two because I was craving dessert so bad. A lot of grocery store purchases, and just in general, almost every purchase I made, with the exception of my cat stuff, was food. I went ahead and put my smiley and sad faces next to everything, and there are quite a few more sad faces, and it's just because in general I went grocery shopping and ate out way too often. So I went ahead and totaled everything up, and just with everything I spent here, it was about $800. However, one of the costs I did not include in my list was from a home improvement store, and that was approximately $200 additional that I spent on a project that I've been doing for about a month now, which is I am trying to grow grass in this large patch of dirt outside of my house, and it's coming along really well, but it is a little costly. So I went ahead and wrote down my grocery totals. I did decrease $100 from last month. I went from $515 in March to $415 this April. Hopefully for May, I'll be able to get it down below the $415 and just continue a trend from there until I get to a more consistent number with groceries. I also didn't spend as much on cat supplies this month as I normally would. One of the things I did differently was I was actually going to PetSmart instead of ordering online like I normally do. I don't know what it is, but for some reason in store I seem to spend less. All right, moving on to my impulse jar, there is a lot of red in here. One of the first things I did was I did actually end up going to the Dollar Tree and buying about $17 worth of Easter goodies for the boys. I couldn't help myself. I failed there. As you can see, there's the transactions for Lowe's. And I also went to Michael's because I was doing some framing and I needed some supplies for that. I did also refrain from buying plants and flowers from Lowe's, which is one thing I don't always do. I always like to buy flowers for the garden, and I didn't. And that did save me a lot of money because I don't need plants right now. I just wanted to focus on the one project at a time. And then I wrote down on one big page that roughly $66 went to 4 additional times of eating out. So when I went in and add that extra $200, it brings my April total up to $1,003. So my new April total is $1,003, which is 100% unacceptable. That is just too much money to have spent. I went back and looked at my previous month's totals. In January, I was just under 400. For February, I was a little over 400. And then in March, I went up to 600. And now here we are in April doing an 800 plus the additional 200, which is just crazy. So for May, I need to have a much lower final total. That's the goal. That about sums up my entire April no spend, as well as some of the things you can expect to see in the future. And if you could just do me one more favor and smash that like button, it helps so much with the YouTube algorithm and I would greatly appreciate it. That like goes so far for my channel. And if you're new here, please consider subscribing. I would love to have you here on my channel. Also, if you want to see any more content that is not on my YouTube page, check out my Instagram. I will have it linked below. It is @journey@30. You can follow me there to see some of my more daily activities and things that I do that I don't share on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching again, guys. Bye. See ya.